guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. Today I am here to do my final check-in for October, so there's still a little bit of time left. I'm not going to close out my budget yet. I'm filming this on the 26th, so we still have 5 days or so. But I wanted to check in to see where we're at. That way the last 5 days we can make informed decisions. I've mentioned this in a couple of videos so far, but I feel like the state of the economy has really been impacting our budget quite a bit. So we've been thinking about other ways to mitigate that. Starting with November's budget, I think we're going to be cutting back on some of like our funding for sinking funds, and then you know, just trying to be conscious about where we're spending money. So I just figured I'd mention that. That's something that I feel like is very real for a lot of people, and when you own a small business, it's kind of scary because like our well-being is all on the business. And so I just want to make sure that we are preparing for everything that goes along with how things seem to be heading. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. The last time I checked in was right around the 19th, so we're going to go ahead and do the rest of the check-in now. So it looks like we checked in around the 19th, and so we're just going to go forward. I ran out of the peach expense tracking sticker, so this Dunkin' one is actually meant to be peach, but I know that. So we're going to start with groceries. Groceries is definitely one of those categories that I like to track for my weekly check-ins because I feel like it's an easy place to overspend. Food in general is really easy to overspend. So we have Aldi of $62.28. We have Walmart of $20.30. We have Thornton's $5.41. We paid for Macy's hot lunch for the next week. That was $11. And then Jason stopped at Caputo's, and that was $16.68. So for the week, we have spent $115.67. $115.67. Last time we checked in, we had $426.38 remaining. So that means that we currently have $310.71, and we just have 1 week left over, so we're doing really well in that category. Obviously we're not going to spend anywhere close to that, but I think that's going to offset some of our eating out. One thing that I think going forward, especially starting in November, that we're going to try and do is just really limit how much we're eating out, and also just being more conscious about like where we're eating out, because it tends to get kind of expensive. Like there's certain places that just are more expensive. Like we went to the Cheesecake Factory. That is ridiculously expensive. I've mentioned this before, and I love the Cheesecake Factory. I feel like it's one place that me and Jason love to go to, but we got 2 sandwiches and it was almost $60, which just seems to be a lot. And again, I know things are just more expensive in general right now, but I feel like that is definitely somewhere where we could cut back. Next, we're going to look at eating out. So we had $13.74 at Dunkin'. Then we had $15.13 at Domino's. $27.91 at Panera. Dunkin' again was $6.01. We actually brought my dad to a party, and he loves to stop and get coffee. We got McDonald's breakfast. That was $11.81. And then Dunkin' again, $13. McDonald's actually might have been, oh, you know what? I think it was, yeah, that was for Sunday, and there was no space. Steak and Shake, $23.35. We had a lot of stuff going on this weekend. We had birthday parties and pumpkin patches, and Jason had a couple days where he was out with a friend because his friend lost his grandparent. So it's just been, it was a lot. I know I just mentioned that like I'm trying to cut back on the eating out, but of course like we did definitely eat out quite a bit this past weekend. So that brings us to a total spent of $110.95. And last time we checked in, we had $19.37. So obviously when you take a look at the category of eating out, like just by itself, we are over budget by $91.58. I do for the most part like to look at these together, and so together we're still positive, because the thing is, when groceries are down, like obviously they are in this situation, then eating out's going to be more, because you're going to eat no matter what. It's just where you're going to eat. So next month, like I mentioned, I'm hoping that our groceries is right around where it needs to be, and hopefully we have extra eating out money. That's at least what I'm hoping. And maybe we don't. Maybe we spend our eating out budget, but we don't go over. That's what I'm hoping for. So anyway, next is going to be household. We've had no household related expenses, so that's great because we were over. So we can put $0 there, and we were over by $80.41. And then gas for our cars, Jason did fill up once. That was $41.13. $41.13. Last time we checked in, we were already over by $7.06, so that means that we are over by $48.19 for gas, and we've had no unbudgeted expenses, and we do not budget anything, so there's nothing remaining there. So far I feel like we're doing pretty well. Again, if you take into consideration those together, that's pretty good. Household, I'm hoping that in November is a lot less, because we did stock up on some stuff, and honestly, if I would have taken a look at where we were, I skipped a weekly check-in obviously here, then maybe I could have made some more informed decisions. Again, that's the reality of how important the weekly check-in is. So yeah, that is how we're doing for variable expenses. I did pay some of our bills already, so I budgeted $100 for electric. It ended up being only $45.08, so we have some under budget there. Gas was $49.07, and we budgeted $50, so again, a little bit under budget there. So yeah, I think all of this stuff has actually already come out. Lashes, yes. Netflix, yes. So all of our fixed expenses have stayed the same. When it comes to sinking funds, we've had a lot going on for sinking funds. I think the last time that we checked in, maybe I talked about the Halloween party and diapers. I did actually also kind of have to move more of my sinking funds over here, at least the transaction log. So I mentioned this before, but Macy last week had a run-in with pink eye. Luckily, it was the type that didn't need eye drops. We did end up picking up the eye drops just because her doctor wasn't sure which one it would be. So that was $5 that came out of medical. We picked up some craft stuff. It was like Halloween craft stuff at Joann's Fabrics, and that was $1.94. Me and Macy went on a mommy-daughter date. That was $10.62. We went to Oberweis. We played chess. It was really fun. We picked up some gifts for my niece and nephew for their birthdays, and that was $106.55. Tolls were $20, and then we went to the pumpkin patch. So we paid $2.77. I believe that was for the apples that we picked, and then $24 for food. And then Jason and Macy went to go see a movie recently, so we did purchase the tickets. That was on the prior page, and then this must have been snacks for them, so $8.05 and $10.16. So yeah, that is kind of where we're at so far when it comes to budget-related items. Again, I definitely feel like we're feeling the impacts of inflation. I feel like it's been happening for quite some time, but our budget hasn't really felt it super much. Like, I mean, we did with groceries and gas increasing, but I feel like we're feeling it in every other aspect now. So you will see in the coming weeks, I'm going to be really strict about our budget. I'm going to be really trying to cut back in future months' budgets, and I feel like with me working on the January kits, it's also going to be really important for me to put together a game plan for 2023. I didn't do that in 2022 just because we had so many things that were up in the air in terms of moving and all of that stuff. Now that we're settled in, and it doesn't seem like the economy is getting any better anytime soon. I definitely just want to put together a game plan so that we know what we're doing. I feel like, especially like with the weekly check-in thing, you saw, if you don't know where you're at, what the game plan is, what you're working with, it's really hard to stick to your financial goals. So that is something that I'm going to be really striving for in 2023, is just making sure that we're doing everything possible to set us up for success. I ordered a new budget planner for 2023 because this one will end in December. So I will be setting that all up with you guys very soon. Again, I'm going to be just really going hard with all the different budget schedules related to 2023, just to make sure that we are in the best possible space. So definitely look out for those. I will be releasing those on November 11th. So along with the January kits will be the 2023 budget kits. Again, I come up with like a bunch of different trackers. You have like a budget, a sinking fund, emergency fund, savings tracker, debt tracker. I have a ton of different options. So definitely just make sure you keep an eye out for that. Mark it in your calendar. And that is pretty much it for this weekly check-in. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you are not feeling the effects of the economy in your budgets, but I think it's a very real thing for a lot of people. So anyway, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.